Tonight's episode of MAFS was extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. If you love my reviews, hit that follow button and I will try to do this every night for you. This is part 3 of tonight's recap, so if you haven't watched the other parts, go back and do that now. So Adrian and Athena both write stay, for the uneducated bunch commenting on my video saying, "Why would Athena stay? What an idiot, what a moron." Let me explain why people stay in abusive relationships. Victims of abusive relationships often face complex psychological and emotional barriers that make leaving extremely difficult. From the outside, it might seem like an easy decision, but the reality is far more complicated. Below are the key reasons why victims might choose to stay in an abusive relationship. Number 1, fear of retaliation. Leaving is often the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship. Many abusers escalate their violence when they feel they are losing control. Victims may receive threats of harm against themselves, their children, or even pets if they try to leave. Studies show that women are most likely to be murdered by their abusive partners when attempting to leave. Number 2, psychological manipulation and trauma bonding. Intermittent reinforcement. Abusers switch between cruelty and affection, where the victim clings to the moments of kindness, hoping the good version of their partner will stay. Gaslighting. The abuser rewrites reality, making the victim doubt their own judgment. "It's not that bad," or "I'm overreacting." Learned helplessness. Over time, victims feel like nothing they do will change the situation, leading them to stop believing escape is possible. Number 3, hope for change. Many victims love their abuser and hope they will change. They may believe that if they try harder, communicate better, or endure long enough, the abuse will stop. Some abusers promise to get help, e.g. therapy, anger management, but never follow through. Number 4, normalization of abuse and low self-worth. If the victim grew up witnessing domestic violence, they might believe abuse is normal or part of relationships. Years of verbal degradation, "you're worthless," "no one else will love you," destroy self-esteem, making the victim feel undeserving of better treatment. Some victims don't recognize they are being abused, especially if it's not physical, but psychological, financial, or coercive control. The bottom line, a victim doesn't choose to stay in an abusive relationship in the way an outsider might assume. Instead, they are often trapped by fear, manipulation, and psychological conditioning. Leaving is not just a decision. It's often a high-risk, life-altering process that requires careful planning and support. So, in the same way Adrian manipulated Athena into silence tonight, he may have also manipulated her into writing stay. I'd also like to address how Dave was more attuned to the abuse that Athena was suffering than the experts. He picked up on her body language, that she was being silenced, how she felt scared. The experts, on the other hand, perpetuated the abuser's narrative and, in my view, are enabling abuse and are flying monkeys. Gross. Up next was Veronica and Farquaad. Elliot said their relationship was in the trenches, and Veronica said that she was finding it difficult because after the letter writing task, she didn't feel that she gained any additional knowledge of Farquaad from the story he shared. The experts asked if Elliot felt like he had shared a part of himself, and Elliot was like, "Well, yeah, I shared a really traumatic story from my past, in fact, the most traumatic event that I've ever experienced in my life." He said that this event is now the reason that he never wants to lose control of his emotions. He said that after revealing this traumatic incident to Veronica, her response was, "Cute." He said that felt like a knife to his chest and as though he was speaking to a brick wall. Expert John said, "Veronica, Elliot is sharing some things that are very hard to talk about, and you're diminishing his experience. This isn't what the task is about. It's about listening and understanding." How do you think Elliot felt after reading you that letter? Veronica was like, yeah, he probably felt terrible. She then apologized for her behavior and said that she needs to be more empathetic. The couple chose to stay. It was then Clint and Lauren's turn on the couch. Lauren was like, "Something really traumatic happened this week. I got home and I just knew something was off. I saw Clint and I had to dissociate because I was so disturbed. I saw him doing something that really upset me. Everyone was like, okay, what did he do? She was like, he was doing the dishes. Everyone burst into laughter and Jamie was like, okay, well, when he's finished, can he come to my apartment? Because I want a break. She then went on a long rant about how Clint's not an alpha male, and Clint was like, I'm literally a pro sportsman. And anyway, the couple chose to stay. TJ and Beth were up next. Beth is stoked because TJ is great in the kitchen and apparently also in the bedroom. The couple chose to stay. I'm going to address Karina and Paul's turn on the couch in its own part, so go to part 4 for that. And if you love my reviews, hit that follow button.